Welcome to MOMCAST. I'm Emma Jade, and we are in one of my absolute favorite places in all of Arizona. This is Schnepf Farms, and this is one of their many peach trees. We're talking about the history of this place, as well as peach season, which is coming up here real soon. Did you know that Schnepf Farms is the #1 peach producer in all of Arizona? We're talking to the people who make it happen, Carrie and Mark Schnepf. One of the gems of Arizona, Schnepf Farms, just in time for peach season, which is going to be kicking off in the next couple of weeks. Carrie, the history of this place, what you guys have created here is nothing short of magical.
Oh, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't still be here. This thing would have been sold a long time ago.
Yes.
But I do. It's been 35 years when I married Mark, and it's been just a little bit, and we've just invested our blood, sweat, and tears, but mostly the love. We just love having people come visit, and we love seeing the smiles on everyone's face. And I love hiring the kids that came on a school field trip 20 years ago, and now they work here on the farm.
Isn't that so great?
Yeah, it's perfect because I don't have to tell them anything. They just love to tell people how wonderful it is.
For people who don't know Schnepf Farms, what do they need to know? What is this place?
People that don't know Schnepf Farms is we're actually a real working farm.
Yeah.
Which is important. We're the largest peach growers in the state, everything organic. We have a U-Pick organic garden that people can come out, but people don't realize when they, there's oleanders that surround our farm, so you really can't see inside the farm, but you keep driving by and you go, gosh, I've heard about Schnepf Farms, I want to come see what there is. Yeah. And so if you pull in, you're going to find a country store, a bakery with everything. That's wonderful. We do a breakfast and lunch. We have a small cafe. When we have a train ride that goes around the farm. The petting zoo, little ropes course, and so moms groups and people that know about us, they come out all the time because they love it.
Yes.
And then we do huge big festivals like the Pumpkin and Chili Party in October and a beautiful Christmas event that's just magical in late November and December. And then the peach season, which is coming up, and that's everyone loves their peaches.
Because they're the best. I have never tasted a better peach in my life.
You won't. The reason being is because they're right there. They're ripened right on the tree, and you're picking them right off the tree, and you bite into them, and the juice runs down your arm. I mean, there's nothing like a fresh peach. We used to sell our peaches to New York and Saudi Arabia or wherever else, but you had to pick them green, and it's just like when you go to the store and they're hard as a rock, right. And you think, oh, I'll put them in a brown bag and they'll get so juicy, and they never do, and you're wondering why. But out here it's really cool because you're literally picking and you can eat it immediately. That's what you want to do.
The amount of blood, sweat, and tears, like you mentioned, that has gone into this place. I mean, you work 60 plus hours a week.
Exactly.
Every single day. This farm never sleeps.
It doesn't. I mean, farmers never sleep. Any kind of farmer that you're working, it's really, you have to love what you're doing. You have to love making things better, love growing food, love growing product that's going to make your clothes. I mean, farmers they're all working hard, and because we're transforming our farm from a large commercial farm into agritainment, where it's fun for everyone to come out and see what a farm really is, although some farms aren't this fun.
Well, that's what's interesting, because I was talking to Mark about it. It was a farm. It was a working farm for a while, but you guys made the switch to entertain people and bring people in to the farm experience. Why was that change made?
Well, because I married him and I'm a city girl.
That's really it.
And I was like, this is so boring. Well, we were out in the middle of Queen Creek, and there was like 4,500 people, and my husband was the mayor, which is amazing. So, see, I did well there.
You did.
He was the mayor, and there wasn't even a stoplight in Queen Creek. There was a stop sign, and there was a Circle K. So, and I looked out and I said, gosh, we've got to do something to bring some of my friends out here because I don't hear anything. There's no sirens. I'm just like, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And So we started doing, a little bit, and I said, let's do a train, let's do a peach festival, let's do our first pumpkin and chili party, which was 30 years ago, was it? 30 years ago, our first pumpkin and chili party. We ran out of, I said, let's do pumpkins, and let's sell pumpkins, let's do a chili dinner, chili corn on it. We still do it, little backyard grill, and we ran out of stuff, and Mark could only go to the Circle K because that was the closest store. We got to go buy up all their bowls. Yes. And my first peach festival, you'll like this. Anita Farnsworth and my mother was sampling peach salsa and peach preserve, and Anita was making pancakes on a little home griddle.
For the whole community.
For the whole community. 6,000 people were here. There was a huge long line out the door. There goes the train.
There goes the train
there
right
goes
now.
The train.
This is so cute. What I think is so amazing, Carrie, is that you guys are now just a staple in the community. Something you have built over the last 30 plus years.
Exactly.
How have you done it? How have you been able, I know it's your personality, but you really just bring people in.
It's something that we've tried a few things. Some things fail, some things, do great. The festivals have done great. I think it's a team effort with my husband, and we've kind of, we used to get the big plot of the farm and say, we want to do this here, let's do this here. And it's just been a lot of fun. And then we've hired some great employees. I mean, employees that have been with us for, one of them, Mark's right-hand guy, has been here for 40 years. And Mark and he grew up on the farm, and their dads actually were working together. He was his dad's right-hand guy. So it's just been it's a generational thing.
Okay, you cannot go anywhere, because look where we are right now. We are in the peach orchard, well, one of the many here on Schnepf Farms. They have 300 acres, and they have to spread out their orchard. So this is one of the peach orchards. I'm gonna show you everything about these peaches, because honestly, this is a problem out here, and Mark's gonna show us how to fix it. That's coming up right here on MOMCAST.
MOMCAST is sponsored by Moxie Pest Control, protecting what matters most.
Now we're out in the orchard with Mark Schnepf. Your family has been here for how many years?
Oh, for 85 years. Well, my first family came in the 1880s, so we've been in Arizona for a long time, but we've been farming here in this location since 1941. And so 83 years now, and it's just been incredible. I grew up on the farm.
Yes.
My grandfather bought the land. It was just all desert back in those days. It wasn't farmland. It was too uncivilized for my grandmother. She refused to move out. They had a farm in downtown Mesa, what's now downtown Mesa.
Oh my gosh.
And so they sent my dad, who was the oldest of 7 kids, out. He was engaged to my mom. They came out and kind of broke the ground, turned it into a farm, and then about 3 years later, the rest of the family moved out. And so we've been farming here ever since, and it's just been one incredible experience, because farming is you don't do the same thing over and over again. You have to be creative. Mother Nature throws you curveballs all the time. You have to experiment with different crops. My dad was brilliant at that. He grew probably 25 different crops at one time. And here in Arizona, we have, in this area, not everywhere, but in this area, we have amazing soil. And the climate is such that we can grow 3 crops on the same piece of ground in 1 year, depending on what those are. And so we had a large commercial farm when I was growing up. There were lots of different crops growing. We were always busy. And it wasn't just this farm, but my dad had expanded. We had farms in other areas as well.
Oh my gosh.
And so I grew up doing that, and we don't do it that way anymore. Yeah. The whole idea now is that we've consolidated down to just under 300 acres. It's all about you-pick, and it's all about giving people the experience of picking their own fruits and vegetables, being entertained while they're here, enjoying a meal that's made from produce that comes out of the garden or off the trees. And it's a wonderful life. It's not an easy life, but it's a really, really a wonderful life. And Carrie and I both love it.
Now you're you are the largest peach producer in Arizona, right?
I am, yeah. We grow more peaches than anybody else. We have thousands of peach trees here on the farm.
And we're looking at it.
And this is what peaches look like at different stages. So the peaches will bloom in January and February and early March. They set a crop. This is what the crop looks like when it's young. So each of these little peaches started out as a peach blossom.
Look at that
A
guy.
beautiful little pink blossom. So this is a good crop. And what happens is there's actually too many peaches on this tree. So we go in when they're about this size and we hand thin every single branch on every single tree in the orchard.
And you say you have to do that because the tree only produces so much sugar.
Yes, the tree will only produce so much sugar, and so the peaches won't taste good if there's too many peaches on there. Or they won't size, they'll stay really small, and these peaches will get a nice size if you thin them out. So you have this many peaches. I only want maybe 3 on this one right
Per
here.
branch?
Per branch,
Oh,
yeah.
wow,
3 right
okay.
here. So, you know, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
like
7,
8 on
8,
there,
9. Yeah, so we go through and we say, okay, well, we want to spread them out because we want to give them plenty of room to grow. That's good, that's good. I think we'll take that one off right here. I think we'll take that one off right here. So we've got one there. These are too close together. So we're going to take that off right there. So I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 left. And that's a perfect number of peaches for that little branch right there. And that gives them room to grow, and then the tree will produce enough sugar for them.
And someone comes out here and does this by hand.
Yes.
With all of your trees,
With
Mark?
every single
this
tree.
was your job growing up, right?
I did plenty of it. It wasn't my only job, but yes, I did plenty of this when I was
That
growing
is
up.
unbelievable. Someone's
Yeah.
combing through every single one of these branches
Yep.
to make sure.
And so like here, you see all these right here?
Yes.
Yeah, you think, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Nah, too many. We just pop those off right there.
Because
Now,
it's what you said in the beginning, they'll grow together.
they'll grow together.
And you don't want that.
No, you don't want that. And they won't grow. It'll cause them to just be small. So I have 3 peaches there
A
now.
lot of people are really surprised that you can get peaches, like beautiful, just the most delicious peaches in Arizona. You don't think that people think we just do cactus and that's it.
I hear that all the time. People come out to the
Right.
farm and say, how can you grow this stuff? We have really good soil in Queen Creek. It's excellent soil. We have an
Why?
incredible climate.
Why Queen Creek? What
Because
was it?
of the Queen Creek wash. For eons of time, the Queen Creek wash would flood and it would spread out this wonderful sandy loam soil in this area, which makes it perfect for growing fruits and vegetables. So the orchards do well, the vegetables do well. Now, not to disparage my neighbors in Gilbert, but that's a really caliche, clay-like soil. You can grow wonderful alfalfa.
Okay,
You know, they
there you
used to
go.
be the alfalfa capital of the world.
You have it.
But that's in Gilbert because that's about all that would grow in there. Out here, Queen Creek was known for orchards and vineyards even. We had just hundreds of acres of grapes grown out here in Queen Creek, and then incredible vegetables, and that's what we were known for. We grew lots of potatoes for potato chips,
Yeah.
special varieties, because we could produce the earliest potato in the entire country. So the potato chip companies would buy their potatoes out of storage until Queen Creek, not just Arizona, but Queen Creek specifically, and the farmers here would start digging their potatoes in May. And then every potato chip a person ate from May, June, July came from a potato here in Queen Creek. Yeah, isn't that interesting? That's not the case anymore.
insane.
The market's changed, but
Yes.
for decades, all through the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even into the 80s, that was the case here.
And this wasn't something that you set out to like keep going with the Schnepf farm thing. You kind of really fell into it, didn't you?
I did. Never wanted to be a farmer growing up. It was too much work. My dad made me work all the time, and my friends were out having a good time, and I thought, I don't want to do that. So I got my degree in business administration, was headed off to law school, but didn't have enough money for law school, so I came back to the farm to work and save money, and I never left. I enjoyed working with my dad. We were doing interesting things. It became fun for me, and so all of a sudden I said, I don't need to go to law school. I think I'll be a farmer, and I'll dabble in local politics, which I did for
Right.
a lot of years and
Mayor
had a
of
great
Queen
time. I
Creek.
was the first mayor of Queen Creek. Helped incorporate the town with some of my buddies, and we
gosh,
created
Mark.
this little community, which, you know, when I was mayor, it was 4,000 or 5,000 people. It's now 80,000 people,
Can you believe the
and
growth?
it's considered one of the best communities in the entire country.
Why is that?
Because of the planning, because of the first council.
I knew it. We have him here. Can you believe it? Oh, that's unbelievable.
No, we had a great group of people. We did lots of planning. And we created a plan and a vision for this community, which it's grown up now, and it's developed according to the plans.
All right, don't go anywhere. Peach season is just a few weeks away. We're going to tell you how you can take part. I'm telling you, the peaches, there's nothing better. They are so delicious. this could be yours here very soon. We're gonna tell you all about it right after this quick break. You're watching MOMCAST.
We're only open Thursday through Sundays.
Yes.
And so people need to go online and get a ticket, a reservation to come out and pick peaches, because that way we can control the number of people that we have in the orchard at any one time. So the ticket doesn't cost you anything. You just get a ticket, a time ticket, you come out. We will then lead you to whichever orchard
is ready to go.
Is ready to go.
Yeah.
We have a pay station right in the orchard.
Do I have a basket? Is that what I get?
You have a flat, because we don't want people to put their peaches on top because they're ripe.
Yes.
They're ripe and they're juicy. So we have flats. We'll give you a flat, or you can bring your own, and you go out and you just pick peaches. Now I'm usually hanging out here, so I'm telling people if they have questions, if they never picked peaches before.
Right.
We trim these trees. We hand trim them so that they're low to the ground, so you don't need any ladders.
Come on.
You don't need the big reachy things that some people have, and
Right.
we see people bring those out. You don't need those. Everything's kind of trimmed low so you can like reach whatever we have here. And you pick whatever peaches you want. We don't mind you sampling. The orchards are organic. We don't use any chemicals on them. And so you can like just brush off the dust and bite right into it. And when that juice explodes all over you,
It's a dream.
you're gonna buy twice as much.
You're smart.
It's a great marketing tool
Totally.
because they're so good. And so you pay for them here, and then you can go back to the bakery. And Carrie's in the bakery making pies, making cinnamon rolls, muffins, cobblers, cookies, everything peachy.
Yeah.
Look it. Come on out.
Oh, she doesn't want to come on camera. Look, here's Mark. Mark has been slaving away
Yeah.
night and day.
Look at
I
this.
wish I could take credit for this, but this is Carrie's.
Oh my.
My mouth. I have to be alone.
Good.
Yeah, that looks
So
so
good.
good.
I got
Okay, this is the first pan of peach cinnamon rolls.
You
for
made
the
it just
season.
for
Oh,
MOMCAST.
yes, for the season, and I did make it for the MOMCAST.
Oh
So
my gosh.
exactly, we do about 700 to 1,200 of these a day. We can do all of our pies and our cinnamon rolls and everything else peachy,
Oh my
and people
gosh.
love it. So here,
I know my
You got
mouth
it.
is watering. Tell me about this. You made these.
so I made these this morning,
Carrie.
knowing that you were coming, Emma. I
know.
said, you know what? I'm just gonna pop in that kitchen.
You were incredible.
See
My
what you have
gosh.
to look forward to.
Yes.
I'm also cutting up this fabulous peach pie, which I won't even tell you.
I mean, I can't believe how much energy you have, and like, when did you start to really fall in love with it? Because it's not something that you set out to do.
You know what? I fell in love with it
Fabulous.
from the beginning because
Really?
because you love creating.
Yeah.
There were so many things that you could create and you could come up with. Now we do dinners down the orchard. Now we have
Weddings.
Yeah, we have 3 wedding venues.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, wait, you gotta save room.
Oh my God.
And then, but we do 3 weddings. We do a glamping. We have a cozy peach.
This is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Wait till you try this. Okay, here.
Carrie, oh my gosh.
This is where.
Everyone's gonna think I'm pregnant again.
Okay, go
Seriously.
ahead. You have to get the
these are
middle
fresh.
part.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, and put a peach on it. There. Yeah,
Happily.
you got it. Okay, try that.
I can't. I don't know how you do it.
Is that yummy?
It's the best.
Now she needs water, honey.
No, I need Diet Coke, Mark.
Okay, Diet Coke.
That's the best.
Love it.
Gary, this is the thing about Schnepf
You know
Farms,
what?
though, is that when you come out here, you see you doing everything. Where do you get the energy other than your Diet Coke?
It's it's those 4 kids. You had to keep going. There you go. Watch out, you don't want it to spray. But see, look I have mine.
I really don't. Oh.
We should
and you
do a
already opened
commercial.
it. You really should. Cheers.
So the first variety is white peaches, which are an amazing peach. They have no acid in them, all sugar. So we start with the white peaches at the end of April,
Okay.
the first part of May. Then we go to Florida Prince, which are these peaches right here.
Yeah.
And then we go to Early Grounds, which are great big peaches, and people love, they love all the peaches, but they really like the great big ones. And then we have other varieties that we pick after that.
Why do you have that 10-day window?
Because it's so hot, the peaches get too ripe. So you've got to get them all picked in 10 days in that particular orchard with that variety.
Yes.
Yeah.
You look at it and you think, you must think about your ancestors all the time. You must think about the people who first came to Queen Creek and what you have been able to preserve and to share with everyone else in this community. That's so beautiful, Mark.
You know, Carrie and I have really focused on legacy. We didn't start out trying to create this big legacy. We just needed to earn a living. And there was a little desperation in that. It was like, you know, what do we do to make this land more profitable so we can actually keep it as farmland rather than sell it off for development? And as we went along, we started creating these incredible events and these experiences that people get to have. And all of a sudden it was like, wow, this is a legacy. And let's do everything we can to make sure that we preserve this legacy for future generations, because it's worth saving, it's worth keeping.
Well, we're here on like a random day. There's not like a big festival or anything going on.
No.
Your parking lot is packed. There are people coming in, tons of kids. That's got to just feel like, okay, we made the right decision here.
It's incredible. I have to tell you, you know, when we do the big events and we have several thousand people here at one time, I just walk around and I try to be like incognito and just.
That's impossible.
Well,
yeah.
I try. And I listen to people's comments and they're having so much fun, and it's like they're laughing and they're making these memories that they're going to have forever. It's like, okay, that's why God placed me here and introduced me to Carrie, because the two of us together have created something that's really super special. And it just does my heart good when I'm able to do that and see that.
And I just think there's something so grounding to be outside amongst trees, amongst like, you know, things that are growing and animals. I mean, sometimes I take my kids to Fat Cats, or I take them to Main Event, or these indoor things.
Yeah.
But you come here and you just feel, I don't know, you just feel lighter and happier, and there's something to it that, like, we need places like this here.
And I totally agree with you. And I think it's even deeper than that. I think all of us as humans have this innate connection with the soil.
Yes.
You know, at some point in our past ancestry, we had people who were farmers and ranchers who were connected with the earth and the soil. And you know, 98% of the people aren't anymore, at least not in the United States. But we still have that inside of us. So to be able to reconnect with that is a wonderful feeling, and it's a great experience.
So like Mark said, you've got to sign up and reserve your spot online if you want to come out and pick your own peaches. So make sure to go to their website. You can find all the details there. It is one of the coolest experiences, and I hope you take part. Thanks for watching MOMCAST, everyone. I'm Emma Jade. See you next time.
MOMCAST is sponsored by Moxie Pest Control, protecting what matters most.